the question, how do we do some of these things? One, brainstorming sessions. And brainstorming is just saying that A has an idea B doesn't have. Or A has the idea, B says it differently. So put them in a team and then let them come out with a solution. Also, when I used to be a managing director, CEO, I don't use meetings to solve problems because it takes time. So when the question comes up or the problem comes up, I just put 1, 2, 3, 4. I need answer for it next week or next 2 weeks. I give them time. They come up with an idea. Anytime we have monthly performance meetings or monthly performance reviews, what I do is that at the last hour, I leave them for like 30 minutes. I'll go and have my coffee. I say, guys, I put something on the screen. What is new? Because nothing should be stable over time. That is how the external environment influences the internal. So why don't you always look at how to fix the problem, but looking at what is happening, and then you become ahead of the problem. Bishop said something. It is always beautiful when you're a leader and then you are there before the problem arrives. Oh, beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Wonderful.
And yes, and that is what innovation seeks to do. And so you heard one of the speakers saying that, what did Nokia do wrong? They didn't do anything wrong. They just decided not to do anything. And that is what they did wrong.
Wonderful.
And so in thinking about it, it's all about expecting that your teams have ideas. Give them room, let them think. It's nothing so big, so new. But when you allow the team to think, they'll think for the institution, and the institution can make progress from there.
Let's put hands together for the panel. One of the questions leaders like this ask me when I meet them, they run their own companies, they employ people. How do I get the people I work with to buy into what I'm doing? These guys work very hard. They're very visionary. But a lot of times their team members are slow. They don't see the big picture, and don't give up their best. So a lot of these guys, they would like to hear from you. How do I get my team? I mean, you see how Bishop's people are working. They are all energized. They all want to do the job. How do you get your people to push just like you as the leader? Richard.
Okay. So I have 2 books there. One of my books, Are You a Good Leader? I addressed it so nicely. One of the things that leaders must have is to have a compelling vision.
Compelling vision.
Compelling. I think in the Greek they call it anakazo or something. A compelling vision. A vision that is so strong that people can just follow. Not because they have to, but because they want to. Now, how do you achieve this? It's like, I'm giving an example. It's like telling your daughter, I'm going to build a very beautiful house, and then I have 5 rooms, and you will be in the yellow room, and the blue and the green. Which one do you want? She said, I want the yellow room. I'll put my flower there. I will see outside. She's already living in the vision because it's compelling. In the same way, you can communicate to your team that, guys, at the end of the year, I want us to achieve a profit of $1.2 million. The very moment to say that, people start planning. What will be my percentage? Oh, your bonus will be 2%. They calculate it. They are not there yet, but they are in it because they have seen it. Not because they have to, but they want to. Now, number 2, another way of communicating some of these vision is to build the team with trust. Now, people say, oh, teamwork is a group of people working together. No. Teamwork is a group of people trusting each other. When people trust what you are saying, the vision is compelling enough. They are always ready and willing to walk with you. Even if it's just a talk, they will walk the talk with you.
I like this. Let's put hands together for him. Let's come to the final I. Somebody says, integrity is the most important ingredient in leadership. If you take palm nut out of palm nut soup, what is left is light soup. If you take integrity out of leadership, what is left is something else. Is integrity as crucial in leadership as this writer is making it seem?
It's very crucial, and I'll relate back to some experience I've had before.
All right.
7 years ago, I was in a management training program in Harvard. Boston, Massachusetts. I was lucky to have, I think Prof will understand in academia when he said one of our own, Kaplan, Robert Samuel Kaplan, teaching us about how to manage millennials. That was 7 years ago. And I remember when we were about to finish, he said, we are talking now about how difficult it is to manage millennials. There is a generation coming. And now we are in Gen Z. Beyond that, there's going to be another generation, which we know is Gen Alpha. One of the things that have come up now in Gen Z management, in terms of leadership, is integrity. If you take integrity out, you cannot manage the average employee within these ages now. So why is it important? It's important because you need to demonstrate. I mean, let me give a definition to it. Integrity is the constant demonstration of honesty. Constant. It's not like just being honest. Constant demonstration of honesty by exhibiting a character led by morality. Is moral-based form of leadership, and that drives into ethical leadership as well. I don't want to extend it much because Norman Schwarzkopf said that if he has to define leadership, he will say leadership is a potent combination of strategy and character. But if he has to choose one, he will take character. Within the character is the integrity.
Can you repeat that definition? Norman Schwarzkopf.
Norman Schwarzkopf, he's saying that if he has to define leadership, it's the potent combination of strategy and character. And if he has to choose one, he will choose character. And within the conversation of character, for me, is integrity.
Wow, amazing, amazing.
Bernard,
Yes.
I will even go further to say that integrity, which has got honesty in it, is the lifeblood of leadership.
Now, the point is that we have come to realize that the new generation, not to hurt anyone, let me tell you one thing that we found out. So a young man, 19 years old, started working in the UK. And then he said, I want to resign. He said, why? Because my bosses don't listen to me. I have an idea, they don't listen to me. And then the bosses also go like, but what do you have to give? You have 19 years. What experience do you have to give? This is the kind of generation I'm talking about that some time back, Kaplan was talking. He said that the Gen Zs that are in now, even if they don't have anything to say, and they have just one thing to say, we have to learn to listen. The problem with the listening is that it's in 3 stages. You listen very well, you listen to the end. Most of the time, we listen to them, we don't listen to the end. And that is where the problem is. So ours, we're going to learn how to listen to the end. Yours is also learn to listen from us so they can shape your
Thank you very much. You want to add?
Quickly, I think I'll touch on the first question up there. Then I'll just round it up with the integrity, and then maybe Prof and Chairman can speak on the others. With the first gentleman talking about training, sometimes it's a bit disheartening. As a business owner, you train people, the next day they resign, they are gone. And sometimes they even come out with the same product, compete you, and even out-compete you. So I know what you are going through. But you can't stop training. Right? I'll tell you what Zig Ziglar said. Zig Ziglar said, it's better to train someone who will resign tomorrow than not training the person who will stay forever. Because if the person decides not to resign and stay forever, and you have not trained him, you are doomed. So it's better to train him, even if you resign tomorrow. So that aspect, it is a responsibility. As a business owner, you have to train. Because obviously you're also training the person to curtail certain risk that could happen the next day. What if you don't train? Anything can happen. So it's a very hard one. It's actually a dilemma for every HR person on training. But that is why it also comes back to the fact that what kind of training are you giving? And what is the value involved in terms of money? And then you have other measures like bonding and other things regarding, but you have to train.
Wonderful.
Okay. Now on the integrity, Bernard, I think it's so obvious and clear that this is where the country has come to. It's about time. For me, I keep on saying that we can institutionalize integrity. From my experience, I have done it, and for what I've been exposed to, I'm teaching it. How do we institutionalize it? Integrity can be learned, it can be taught, and it's also inherent. When it's inherent, it's super. But when it's not, you can. The reason why we can say that it can be taught is that in the workplace, when you are able to train people not to do certain things in the workplace, and maybe they go out and they do it, it means that there was a system that was institutionalized that had been able to bring out the best in that person. Can we extend this to areas that we want results? And that is why I kept saying that we can only pilot it. We find one agency, work with it. Some time back, I may be wrong, I heard there was a new CEO in DVLA at some point. I was not in the country though, but I heard that there were certain things you couldn't do, you know, those middling and other things. But for some few years or so, it was moved. That I can tell. But it also tells you that those gaps in the public sector become enterprises for other people. So can we make sure that those who are within that space are also kind of co-opted and being given certain training and then created certain kind of avenues that they can get to work and become more meaningful to the process than leaving them to more or less create a kind of canker in that area. So for me, that is what I can say about integrity. But it is cancerous, and I think we need to find a way to wipe it off.
Thank you very much. Steve, very much for being part of the panel. I'd like to invite Bishop Titi Ofe to bring us some closing remarks as we segue out of this segment. Please put your hands together for the bishop and the convener.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow, what a conference it has been so far. Amen. Please take your seat.